The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to TechGeek webinar series, our endeavor to empower techies. We believe that sharing of knowledge is key to enhance our skills and grow us as a professionals. With this principle in mind, we have initiated a series of webinars conducted by industry experts to give you all a crisp insight of various domains. The topic of today's session is managing change in SAP, reducing cost and risk with IBM DevOps. So our guest speaker for today's session is Mr. Raghu. Mr. Raghu, he is brand architect with IBM. Raghu currently works as an IBM regional brand architect with a focus on solution sales and consulting. He carries a 13 years of experience in technical sales, consulting services, software engineering, and account management. He has a great experience of working with emerging growth markets like India and ASEAN. He is also advises senior manager on the economic of process and solution adoption with monitoring services and its implication on organizational changes. Raghu speaks regularly at international conferences, seminars, and user groups sponsored by IBM. Raghu is also an IBM certified professional and holds an MBA marketing degree from Symbiosis University, Pune. So without any further delay, I introduce you all to our guest speaker. Over to you, Raghu.
Hey, thanks, Gaurav. Really appreciate for that. Good afternoon, everybody. So let me begin thanking all of you for joining us today. We really appreciate your valuable time. Thanks for that. So welcome to IBM session on SAP. And if you look at the agenda, what we shared with you people, it's a very interesting topic. How can we achieve this continuous delivery in the SAP world? We might have heard about this DevOps or continuous delivery for web application development or mobile apps development. So how can we bring this capability, enterprise capability or approach in the development of the SAP-based applications? So that's an interesting topic what we have in front of us today, everybody. So it's going to be we'll have a 50 minutes of a presentation. 45 minutes to 50 minutes, and we'll have 10 minutes for question and answers, and we'll see how it goes. So let me begin with some of the statistics and the data. What we are seeing in this market or in today's digitization world, the software-driven innovation is happening in all the walks of the industries or the technology. Now, many of the organizations are looking at software as a major competitive differentiator. And there are some of the data in front of you, what you're looking at right now. By 2020, 90% of financial transactions in United States, it will be cashless transactions. And the F-35 fighter jet, it has got around 5.6 million of code. Let me give from an Indian context, okay? And you might have heard about this Taxi for Sure, Uber, Snapchat, Flipkart. All of them are competing for customer acquisition, brand share, mind share, correct? And major competitive differentiation, if you have used Uber, Ola Cabs, or Taxi for Sure, it's the competitive differentiation. So the technology or software is driving all the differentiating factors for most of the enterprises. Now, the question is, fair enough, the software was there, it's been ages, we've been working on software, developing software, enterprise applications, ERP applications, SAP deploying SAP softwares. What has changed, correct? And the change happened dramatic, very fast. These are the changes. Rather than what we can call as a major disruptions that is changing every walk of life, everybody's life, what we call it as a camps in the IBM world. So some people call it as a SMAC or camps, which are nothing but cloud, big data, analytics, social, mobile, and even including the security. So there is a market shift that's happening and companies are looking at these softwares, next generation digitizational softwares, as the major differentiator. Customer experience has become very crucial aspect. Now you can see in the SAP world, many of your applications, modules are available as a cloud as a service model, software as a service model, platform as a service for the development, correct? And it's also available as a mobile application, some of the modules for the employees, for the customers. Now, but if you look at from a SAP upgradation or managing changes to SAP applications or SAP software development per se, there is an opportunity in front of us, for all of us, but there exists a challenge, correct? So the challenge is this. It always works in a development environment, correct? And when you're working as a SAP software developer, architect, analyst, it always works in the development environment. The moment you take the application into the consumer world or the customer world, that's where the session gets expired, performance issues, some business logic issues, adding more zeros to the figures. So what's changed, correct? But if you look at the disruptions, and to add on to that in terms of the challenges, the challenges is, if you look at the 4 pillars of abstract level software development, the business team, development team, testing team, and operations team, they're always working under silos. They're not on the same page. And the development team and operations team, there is a communication gap. Now, in the world of the scams, what we are talking about, where disruptions are happening, where time to market becomes very crucial, where you need to make sure that the customer, a differentiated and engaged customer experience are provided in terms of your ERP applications, correct? And then continuously you deliver the value to the customer. You need to make sure that you reach the market far faster than your competitor, whether it's a SAP development, application development, customization, deployment, converting them into mobility apps, correct? So now that's the challenge, correct? So now there is an opportunity to exploit that opportunity, to leverage that opportunity. There exist challenges. Now that's where, if you look at the DevOps is the buzzword now. Okay, you go and have a conversation with any of the customer, any of the business enterprises, which we do in regular day-to-day fashion as I'm representing IBM technical sales team. So if I go to banking organizations, manufacturing units, life insurance organizations, system integrators, the buzzword in terms of the software delivery model is the DevOps. Now the question is, what is this DevOps is all about, correct? How can I, is it relevant to my SAP development? That could be a question in your mind. How do I apply this DevOps? So the misconception, the myth, DevOps is not a technology, correct? So the DevOps, it's not a, so the DevOps, what you're looking at is a capability to achieve this, a continuous delivery of value to the customer, correct? So in a regular interval fashion, a quality software is shipped, you're churning out the changes, applications, enhancement requests in a regular fashion, okay, and where in turn customer is getting the value continuously from the enterprises. So it's a typical like a mobile application world where you get the updates once in a week, twice in a week, once in 15 days. So you will see that, okay, the SAP upgradations and the changes, the development will also be churned out in a regular fashion. So now, what's DevOps is all about? In a textbook definition, DevOps is a enterprise capability. It's an approach towards a different way of developing and delivering the software. The DevOps talks about a continuous and differentiated engagement of customer experiences. You need to make sure that you engage the customer continuously, and you're going to provide the customer a differentiated experience. Time to market, time to value, correct? You're going to churn out the applications in a regular fashion. The moment you automate all the supply chain of your SAP development or deployment, or the migration path, the advantage is the moment you automate the entire supply chain, you left with more resources, more time, more money to innovate further. You can see that, okay, having this capability or approach within your enterprises, you're reaching the customers faster compared to your competitor. You're continuously engaged with the customer and getting feedback in a regular fashion. That's helping you to improve the SAP applications. And it's helping you, providing you greater capacity for the further innovation. So now the question is, and the DevOps, the way you are looking at it, it's not only the enterprise capability, it also a cultural shift, the way you develop and deliver the applications. All these years, what we've been doing is, we've been developing this SAP upgrades or SAP managed changes. Let's say changes, enhancement requests, probably 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. The problem is, in this disruption world, nobody has the time to get that feature or the capability, 6 months or 7 months, where everybody is accessing, everybody is connected, correct? Everybody is accessing the application through mobile, 5 inches mobile devices, handheld devices. Now, that's where IBM plays a very important role in terms of providing set of platform and solutions to achieve this enterprise capability. So in a nutshell, what you're looking at right now, the DevOps life cycle. DevOps talks about, as I said, it's a cultural shift, the way we develop and deliver the applications. It talks about time to market. You get to the market faster, deliver the value continuously to the customer. Make sure that the teams are not working in silos. They're working in a Facebook fashion, in a collaborative fashion. You're going to automate all the aspects of the software delivery, the entire supply chain of the software delivery. You're going to continuously get the feedback from the customer. Is he getting the right value from you, correct? Is he getting the right feature? So the moment you're delivering the applications in a regular fashion, continuously, you're getting the feedback in a real time, and that will make sure that you're continuously providing the required feature or the capability to the end consumers or the customers. Now, let's try to understand, okay, so it's 2 parts that what we're looking at. What is DevOps is all about? That's the first question, correct, which we understood. The second thing is, what's the technology or the solutions that IBM is offering to get this enterprise capability for my businesses and organizations? And then the third one, you know, from a SAP context, how does this DevOps looks like? Let's get into the second aspect. So this is what the way IBM looks into the DevOps. So it talks about DevOps lifecycle. Now, if you observe closely your own software development teams in your organizations, now with the coming of Agile into picture, Agile software development, you can see that, okay, more or less the development and testing team, they have merged. The merger has taken place between the development and testing team. So the testing team starts their testing along with the development. They work closely with the development. So there is already a merger happening that you can see between these 2 teams. Now, the life cycle of DevOps talks about continuous planning, the way you do the business planning or enterprise architecture, portfolio management, continuous development, continuous testing, continuous deployment or continuous delivery, and continuous monitor. Okay. Now, in the era of mobile applications, cloud-based applications, and digitization and social applications, it becomes de facto that okay, you continuously deliver the value to the customer, and that's where IBM plays the important role. Now, what are the solutions that we offer in terms of the DevOps? So, you know, why did somebody coin the term DevOps, correct? So it's bringing the teams of the development and operations team together, both of them working together to provide, you know, the value to the customer. Hence, they coined the term DevOps. So traditionally, historically, you know, if you look at, you know, the development and the operations team, development team develop the applications, and then the operations team take those applications, they deploy it in a production environment. So this entire handshake which happens between the development, testing, and the operations team, it's a completely manual process. More or less in most of the organizations. I can't say that you know all the organizations. The handshake and the communication and the platform, it's a manual process that will not solve the purpose in the world of CAMS. So that's one thing. And the second thing is you want to make sure that continuously you create and develop the applications in a production-like environment. What do you mean by that? So when you're developing an application, when you're testing the application, when you're getting into the staging, make sure that you create a production kind of scenario during the development stage itself, so that when the operations team takes the charge of the application, SAP application, or it could be any of the application, there will not be any surprises for the operations team, and you don't see many incidents you know, popping up for your SAP world. Now, we provide set of solutions. Today we will look into very abstract level. So IBM technology, the DevOps platform, provides project planning, project metrics generation, measurement, requirements definition and management. It also provides what we call as a defect and change request management, configuration management, build automation. There is something called as a test virtualization, continuous integration testing, SAP functional and regression testing, performance testing. So you're looking at the abstract level, project planning and management, you know, the development environment, test automation solutions and test asset management, and deployment automation, and the metrics generation out of all those things. Now to achieve this, we thought that okay, for this next generation technologies, we need to make sure that okay, we provide the next generation platform, which brings all these people, processes, and tools together. The business team, the development team, testing team, and operations team, they're working. How do I bring all these people, processes, and tools? You have a SAP solution manager, correct? So the SAP, we'll talk about the technology, how does it integrate with IBM DevOps solution. Now, if you look at this, how do I make sure that, okay, I bring all the people? You have a processes, correct? You got a waterfall or iterative or agile processes, and then the tools, SAP solution manager, IBM technology, Oracle database, you know, client homegrown solutions, cloud applications. How do I bring all these things put together and to the same page? Even developing the application, okay, it should provide what we call as a Facebook way of developing and delivering the software, collaborative platform. The moment somebody creates a test case for your you know, blueprints, it should be available for everybody. Everybody should get, hey, a new test case got created for your blueprint. Getting an idea, a new incident reported within the SAP system, immediately it shows that, okay, hey, a status bar pops up and says that, okay, hey, a new incident has been raised It also has got not only Facebook way of developing and deliver, even the collaboration features like Twitter. You mention at Alex gets a notification, hey, you've been discussed as part of the discussion. So what we are looking at essentially is a social way of developing and delivering the SAP-based applications, which acts as a platform independent. Now, what do you mean by platform independent? If I have a SAP solution manager, application lifecycle management platform, if I want to integrate with some other third-party testing solutions, so you need to have a platform which acts as a platform independent, provides plug and play kind of feature where you have a IBM platform which provides a platform independent nature, which can talk to SAP Solution Manager Solman, and it also can talk to any of the homegrown or third-party open source solutions. It provides a plug and play platform. It also supports waterfall, iterative, and agile processes and methodologies. So this particular DevOps platform, what we've been discussing so far, you can use this platform, one-stop shop, to develop web applications, mobile applications, middleware technologies, SAP applications, ERP CRM applications, and then the mainframe applications. You can have this one particular platform to develop different kind of applications. So what are the capabilities? Let's try to understand from as a DevOps portfolio, what are the solutions that it can offer for a continuous development, continuous testing, and continuous deployment. And then in the third part, we will try to understand from a SAP context. Okay. So the DevOps platform, what IBM offers in the market, it's built on JAS platform. This has got a capabilities. When I say capability, it has got a requirements definition and management, managing the requirements, test asset management, quality management. It has got a work items management as per the CMMI, project planning, defect management, build management. It also provides virtualization solutions. Now, for this platform, what you're looking at right now, this platform takes care of integration, communication, collaboration, searching, dashboard, team awareness, events notification, security. This particular platform takes care of all these capabilities, licensing, user management. If you want to bring in any of the solutions and then make sure that, okay, they talk to each other with SAP Solution Manager, you just need to make the solution as a OSLC compliant. So you can visit the jazz.net website to understand more. So try to understand this is built on similar to LinkedIn, Facebook technology, Web 2.0 technology, and it's based on REST APIs and OSLC. If you make any of the solution as a OSLC compliant, you would be able to make this as a plug and play. And we have already built adapter for many of the industry leading solutions, HP solutions, Microsoft solutions, SAP solutions. Now, let's try to understand these solutions in detail from a SAP context. So, reiterating these capabilities, for a software development or SAP-based application development or customization. Now, this particular platform, as I said, it's a web-based application. It acts as a one-stop shop. Okay, it's day one productivity. The moment you install this software, you would be able to capture the requirements, import all your blueprints from SAP Solman. I'll talk about from a technical angle. You would be able to understand how many incidents that has come to the platform, how many got resolved, how many test cases associated with the incidents, and the requirements, and achieve this what we call as a life cycle traceability and impact analysis. If there is any change in the incident, if there is any change in the blueprint, the business processes, what kind of impact it's going to have on the work item, what kind of impact it's going to have on set of test cases. Automatically tool will show you in red color, hey, you're going to change the business process within the SAP, but all this development, test cases, and probably the cloud-based deployment script and the database, they are dependent on this particular business process, and immediately it's going to give you an impact analysis. It's going to give you the impact analysis report. Traditionally, the data shows that it takes almost 4 days or 3 to 4 days to understand what kind of impact a change can create if it's a manual process. If you use IBM DevOps kind of platform, it hardly takes a few seconds to few minutes. So 30 seconds to 2 minutes kind of thing. So you can imagine having this kind of platform or a capability, how crucial to make sure that you are delivering the value to the customer in a regular fashion. So that's in terms of the development. As I mentioned, the IBM DevOps platform provides all these project planning, work items management, defect management, test, asset management. There's another technology that it has become a mainstream now. People call it in different names. So some people call it as a continuous integration testing. Some people call it as a test virtualization. Now they have given a jargon, some kind of buzzword. It's called shift left technology. What's happening is, if you look at the traditionally the test virtualization, these are some of the scenarios what you're looking at right now in front of your screen. Traditionally, when you're developing SAP applications or chain requests within the SAP, many of the times it might be there is a dependent technology, there's a dependent platform like web services, payment gateway, servers not being available, correct? And some mainframe applications, or some middleware technologies not available, MQ series, message queue series, message queue platform is not available, or some of them are available, but the window period is only 2 hours, very expensive. If you want to use Citibank payment gateway or what we call Visa or MasterCard payment gateway, it's chargeable, correct? There is a cost associated with that. Every time a SAP developer or SAP tester, whenever he's engaging SAP application, he can't go and hit that payment gateway, correct? A particular application which is chargeable, or some of the web services which is third-party control may not be available on that time on that given day. But in the world of CAMS, there is no time. Nobody is waiting for the company or the enterprises. You need to make sure that you are delivering quality applications. In this scenario, using IBM DevOps platform or technology, you can record the entire conversation. Either it supports many of the technologies, XML web services, middleware technologies, backend databases, application servers. So you can record the entire conversation with the backend database, or the application server, or the MQ, or the web services, and you can create a stub in a simple word. And imagine if 10 SAP developers are there, they can create their own stubs. It's just like a record and playback. And anytime these applications behaves, or the entire actual environment gets simulated, and you're continuously developing even though systems are not available for any of the reasons. And tester can reuse the same steps while doing the testing. What's happening is, using these set of technology, time to market, time to value to the customer becomes, it advanced. So you're reducing, the time that you take to deliver the software, increasing the time to market, and you're automating all the supply chain of the software delivery. So even in SAP-based applications, there might be web services that you are dependent on, some of the backend database that you need to push the data, they may not be available. In those kinds of scenarios, you can create these virtualization concepts, virtualized service, virtualized application to make sure that, which acts as a the real applications and the real services. So that is called rational integration tester. That's part of what we call IBM DevOps, the platform or the solution. So this is what you call as a test virtualization technology of the solution. It's just like if your people are from testing background, if you have used a solution for regression testing, it's on the similar lines. The third aspect in the DevOps approach is release and deploy. Now, many of the times what happens, you have a SAP application, correct? Now, it has to be deployed somewhere. It has to be deployed to a particular server environment, it could be you want to develop into deploy into a cloud. Now, predominantly, most of the time, it's still evolving and it's quickly evolving in a faster pace. It's a manual process, and if there are any challenges, hitches are there, roadblocks, the entire rollback is a very pain affair. Now, and you write many scripts, or SAP itself provides its own deployment environment. Now, how do I make sure that I automate this entire deployment aspect, like creating this application from development environment to the testing environment to the pre-production staging environment, and then customer acceptance environment, correct? UAT environment, or the actual production environment. This entire process, a continuous delivery. And so what's happening is people want to doubly make sure, and validate these applications or the changes that you're doing for the SAP application in a production-like environment while doing the development stage itself. So you use the virtualization technologies, you use this IBM DevOps deployment automation solutions, which automatically builds, deploys the applications in a production kind of environment. This has become a mainstream now. Most of the organizations are embracing. It's very easy to, using this technology, it's very easy to, it's like a drag and drop. It's like a visual modeling. And in any case, if there is any challenge, or once you deploy the application, you can roll back to the previous version. And it maintains the history. You can go back to the previous versions. Even if the databases, you want to upgrade some tables, and nightly deployment can also happen, 2 o'clock in the early morning. So you can, the entire process can be automated, and it can be scheduled as part of the automation. So it provides many of the connector if you want to get the data from web servers, application servers. I'm not so sure what kind of server that SAP uses, but it supports hundreds of plugins and adapters, different technology adapters, to make sure that, okay, it gets the data and deploys it to many of the environments. It can also do what we call as a orchestration of the choreography. It can create the entire server environment, install the operating system, and deploy the SAP application. So many of the things that can be done using this particular technology as a solution. You can also, there is a release planning web-based application where you can capture, you can do the release management, release planning. So who are all the people who gets involved? SAP deployment approval process. There is a workflow built into the system. Somebody has to send a mail. So the manual process is you send a mail to somebody saying that, okay, hey, we need to deploy this application. The entire process, deployment and the release management can be automated over here. So let me, let me brief you, okay, about the content that we discussed so far. So we've been discussing this particular topic in 3 parts. In the first part, we discussed about what is this DevOps capability for the enterprises. Why do we need this? In the second part, we discussed about IBM technology or the solution, DevOps technology platform, helping organizations and enterprises to achieve this DevOps capability, correct? So let's get into the third part of this particular webinar. Hey, fair enough, you've been talking about this DevOps, you've been talking about IBM, I heard this term 100 times. Okay, how can I use this in a SAP world? Okay, from an SAP context, from a SAP perspective, it's very relevant. Now, look at the scenarios, okay, where you can use this particular continuous delivery platform, DevOps platform. Some of the scenarios that normally you use this is in the SAP world, you need to make sure that, okay, you do the SAP upgrade faster compared to the competitors. In the maintenance world, you want to achieve what we call as a factory model of maintenance or managing change requests. And you want to achieve an integrated requirements-driven software development, SAP development, where requirements are linked to the incidents, incidents are linked to the work items are linked to the test cases, and there is a test execution happening, correct? And entire test asset management. So, and another thing is, if you look at from even the SAP apps, our features and capabilities are slowly but steadily moving into the mobile world. You want to have a one single environment to develop both SAP and non-SAP applications, which involves mobility, which involves Java, J2EE, or .NET. In these kind of environments, you can use this IBM DevOps platform. So how does the integration, how does the connectivity, how does this work? Now, as we've been discussing, there is a connector that's been provided between SAP Solman, Solution Manager, and this DevOps platform. What it does is, using this particular connector, you can bring all your business blueprint, business processes, and convert those as a IT requirement. Yeah, and you can do the use case diagram, user interface features, wireframes, how does it should look like, business process diagram, and requirement approval process, requirement traceability and impact analysis. All these things can be achieved by bringing all the business blueprints into the IT requirements. If I move to the next slide, this is where the mapping, okay, that has been done. Now, all your incidents from your solution manager can be linked through the connector. How does it work? If you ask me what's the technology, there is a connector built between SAP Solman and this IBM DevOps platform, which links all your requirements into IT requirements. And IT requirements, the moment, and it can be linked to our test cases, test scripts, and automated test scripts, and manual testing can also be done. So you can see that, okay, test plans are there, test cases are there, defects, work items, all your service desk. So what you're looking at is the entire the application lifecycle management, starting from your business processes till the deployment, and you're automating the entire processes using this particular platform. As I mentioned, having just requirement traceability and impact analysis is saving 3 days or 4 days of time. Naturally, it is helping the enterprises and the teams to achieve this time to market, making sure that, okay, you're continuously engaged with the customer with the feedback, regular feedback. So apart from this, as we mentioned, you can use this virtualization, test virtualization solution for testing. And we've been ranked #1 by Gartner in terms of SAP testing solutions. If you look at from a testing perspective, all your SAP applications, You can do the regression testing, functionality testing using SAP Certify. That's the solution. You can do the load and the stress testing using RPT, Performance Tester. Integration testing, as we talked about, test virtualization using Rational Integration Tester. Ahmed providing secured SAP applications, developing. So you can test the applications from a security perspective using market-leading #1 solution, AppScan. So the entire application lifecycle management, along with your Solman, and then taking it to the next level of the DevOps, can be achieved using this particular platform. So, and customers have seen the value using this particular platform. They have seen, return on investment. Not only see return on investment is not just somebody investing on the tools and the solutions, in terms of customer experience, in terms of customer acquisition. So from all the parameters, people have seen the value using this particular DevOps platform. People are delivering, much more faster, and that they're saving testing costs by 25%. They have accelerated release cycles by over 90%. So the data store, the facts what we have, statistics, it's mind-blowing kind of the data that what we have in front of us. So in a nutshell, in the SAP world, how do I bring the DevOps capability, DevOps approach, this cultural shift for SAP application development or the maintenance or the change request or managing changes to the SAP applications? So we talked about this particular topic from three perspectives, in three parts. We started off with what is this DevOps is all about, the capability, the mindset, and we understood how IBM technology and solutions are helping organizations to achieve this capability. And the third one is how does this DevOps, IBM DevOps, fits into the SAP development or managing changes within the SAP applications. So this is a very brief overview of bringing DevOps into the SAP world, SAP landscape. If you require more information, detailed information, we would be happy to visit your location to take the discussion forward. So with this, I conclude my presentation, and over to you, Gaurav, for the questions and answers.
Thanks, Raghu, for such an insightful presentation. Let us quickly move to the question and answer part. I request you to please read out the question first before answering them, so that all our users can get your commendable insights. Meantime, I request all our participants, if they have any question or query, they can share that with us. So please go to the question panel. There you can find a question.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah. Okay, so there is a question. Okay, let me get the name. Ram K. Okay, Ram. Okay, there's so many questions. Okay. So Ram is asking, there's a question from Ram, one of the participants. Is there any difference between the DevOps and the CLM? Okay, so there is a big difference, Ram. The CLM, collaborative lifecycle management, what we are looking at is a platform, or it's a tools or the set of solutions that will be given to the software development team or software engineering team to develop the applications, correct? But DevOps, it's much more than the CLM. CLM is one of the major ingredient or component of the DevOps capability. As we said, DevOps talks about, you need to continuously churn out the value to the customer. You need to continuously engage with the customer, correct? It talks about continuously you deploy the applications, deliver the value. What you're looking at the DevOps, it's bigger than the tools and the processes. It's a enterprise level cultural shift that happens. The way you develop and the way you do the planning, the way you test the applications, it's a complete different kind of approach towards the way you develop and deliver the software. It's a amalgamation of people, processes, and the tools. And CLM plays one of the small component in the tools part. I hope I addressed your question, Ron, my friend. Okay. 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 Satyaraj is asking, what is SAP? Satyaraj, SAP is a ERP application, enterprise resource planning application, which provides some of the industry. Many of the enterprises or industries, leading industries use SAP, and SAP software is got a major market share. I'm not so sure about many of the market share. All your inventory management, human resource management, your financial planning, most of this enterprise resource activities are using SAP application, and it's a German software company. Okay, there is a question from Ram again. Which database it's more comfortable? So we support all the leading databases. It's going to be MySQL, SQL Anywhere, open source databases, Oracle, DB2, SQL Server. So it could be any of the databases, Ram. Any more questions?
Till now, Raghu, we have got this many questions. We are waiting for more questions. I think we have ample time, right? So we can wait for some time.
Sure,
right?
Sure, that's correct.
So again, I request all our participants, if they have any question, they can share with us.
Yeah. So there is a question from Kalpaj Bhatt. Can we have a trial version of it? The answer is yes. Thank you for asking this question, Kalpaj. You can visit IBM, www.jazz.net. Let me type that, if it is still visible.
Yes, it is visible, Raghu. You can type it there.
Yeah, thanks, Gaurav. So if you visit this particular website, Google for, Google search IBM DevOps. This particular platform is available for you to, evaluate for learning purpose. There's a 30 days free evaluation software available. Now, there is a very interesting question from Sangeeta. Sangeeta is saying that, okay, it's a debatable. She's saying that, okay, hey, her question is, Agile will have disadvantages because of the limited time to develop application. Do you think it's a risk in quality? Now, Sangeeta, this particular Agile process has evolved over a period of time, and it's very mature. IBM Labs, they are using all the Agile processes like Scrum and X3, disciplined Agile delivery. They are different kind of processes. Now, what's happening is, now the quality, it's the other way, Sangeeta. The quality will not deteriorate. There will not be any reduction in the quality of the software. It's the other way. The quality will be improved. You will be delivering improved quality software. The reason being is, in a smaller iteration or a sprint, you take a feature or a requirement, which is going to be most valuable to the business, to the customer, and you develop it. The moment you are developing, you are testing the application, correct? Imagine if there is a any defect or a that you find it once you deliver to the customer, immediately you can work on that particular defect within the next sprint. So the time frame, what you have is 15 days to 20 days. Customer sees the value. See, at the end of the day, he's investing millions of dollars or thousands of dollars. He wants to quickly get the feature or the capability to the market so that he does this customer acquisition. Getting an idea? So I slightly disagree with you. It's going to enhance the quality of the software application. There is a question from Venkata Jyoti Sri. The question is, how can we deploy DevOps approach with SAP different modules? As I mentioned earlier, Venkata, the way IBM DevOps platform gets connected to the SAP world or SAP landscape is through SAP Solution Manager. The SAP uses what application lifecycle management environment called as a SAP Solution Manager. So we get connected with SAP Solution Manager to achieve this DevOps approach. So there is a question from Kalpach, but again, does this support, ABAP? I guess it's a programming language, and the Java. So this particular platform, as I mentioned, it's out of the box. It supports Java, J2E, .NET, mobile applications, hybrid native applications, and mainframe applications out of the box. In terms of ABAP, you will still continue to use SAP development environment for the ABAP development and customization. Apart from ABAP development and customization, there are so many other things that's involved, correct, to deliver the value to the customer, to deliver the application. There's a requirement, there's a defect, there's an incident, there's a test execution. That will be provided by IBM DevOps platform. So there is a question from Minaj. So is it a license one? My friend, the answer is yes, it's a license one. Okay, there's one more question, good question, Umapati. Umapati is asking, is this Jazz.net is similar with IBM Bluemix Cloud? So there is a difference, Umapati. The Jazz.net is a website where all the customers and users can come together and they can share their experience, they can download the software, they can give their feedback. It is something like, okay, our own LinkedIn, you can say, okay? So the Jazz.net. But IBM Bluemix, which we are focusing very much in this time, in today's time, it acts as a platform as a service. It's a cloud-based service where, imagine, Umapati, you want to develop a SAP application, you want to develop Java application. What do you do normally? You take a server, you take a machine, powerful machine, install the server components in that machine, correct? Install the defect tool, testing tool, all the tools, and then spend most of your time in integrating those solutions. That probably, getting the server itself will take, 6 days, 7 days because of the approval process. Imagine, the next generation of services. You just go to the Bluemix website, Umapati, register yourself. There's a 30 days free evaluation is available. You pick and choose the way you go to Flipkart, Amazon, or Snapdeal. You pick and choose the articles to buy, correct? You go and pick and choose what's going to be your application server, what's going to be your backend database. Just choose and say submit. Within 2 minutes, your entire software development platform is available. This is what we call as a platform as a service. My friend, it's a great technology. Just go and try this. See, there is a question from Harishankar Dash. His question is, does it, it support SAP R3 Release 3, SAP Business One, or SAP Business by Design also? So his question is whether does it support or integrate with all these three? My answer to this, Harishankar, we integrate with SAP Solution Manager, Solman. So if you all these three, SAP R3, SAP Business One by Design, if they are, can talk to SAP Solman, then we are supporting all these three. Any more questions, everybody? Umapati, there's again the question from Umapati. Will it deploy only to IBM hardware, or it can be deployed to any of the platform? See, I'll tell you now that era of protective nature or deploying it only to HP environment or IBM environment has gone. It's a very open and flexible environment of the technology. You can deploy it to any of the environments, servers, backend databases, or any of the cloud data centers. So the answer is you can deploy to any of the technology. So we encourage all participants to visit this jazz.net, Bluemix, okay, and this IBM DevOps. There is something called the IBM Bluemix and mobility. See, these are the evolving technologies, niche technologies, where practitioners like me and you, we should upgrade our skills on these set of technologies. So you can write to us, and this is I guess you must be having my mail ID. So and if you want to share your feedback, or you want to know more about IBM technologies and solutions, feel free to reach us. And Gaurav, are there any other questions?
No, I think we are done with the question and answer part, Raghu. I'm really thankful to you for taking so many questions and conducting this webinar. It was indeed a great session. I would also like to thank all our participants for making this webinar a success. The recording of this webinar will be available on our website, that is techgeek.com, by tomorrow. Thank you all. Thank you, Raghu.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Thanks, Gaurav. Thanks for this opportunity. Really appreciate that.
Thank you,
Have a good day, everybody.
Thank you, Raghu. Have a nice day.
Thank you.